家の仕事。自分の部屋を片付けます。自分の部屋を片付けます。テーブルをきれいにします。テーブルをきれいにします。洗濯物を畳みます。洗濯物を畳みます。生ゴミを捨てます。生ゴミを捨てます。犬の散歩をします。犬の散歩をします。お花に水をやります。お花に水をやります。猫に餌をやります。猫に餌をやります。お皿を洗います。お皿を洗います。メニューお願いします。はい、どうぞ。何がよろしいですか？カレーライスお願いします。ご注文はよろしいですか？はい、注文をお願いします。これには飲み物がついてますか？どのぐらい待ちですか？会計をお願いします。見ないで。恥ずかしがりやだな。恥ずかしがりやだな。恥ずかしい。不安だ。緊張している。怖いよ。心臓がドキドキしてる。上がっているよ。夕ご飯の準備できたよ。お腹ペコペコだ。夕ご飯は何？お魚、スープ、サラダよ。ご飯のおかわりする？ありがとう。どう？すごくおいしいよ。すごくおいしかった。Do you know which particles we're gonna use with the word noboru to climb? It's a little bit tricky because most of the speakers use wo and most of the speakers use ni. So which one is the correct one? So when we say Mount Fuji, so that's the mountain, we will use particle ni instead of wo. So wo is not the correct particles for these phrases. So we're gonna use Mount Fuji ni noboru. But when we say I go upstairs, we're gonna use kaidan wo noboru. See how complicated it is. As you can see, it's the same verb, noboru, climb, and going upstairs, but the particles we're gonna use is different. Mount Fuji ni noboru, kaidan wo noboru. Okay, now let's conjugate the verb and let's use first how to do the te form. Okay, if the verb has its ending with an iru and eru ending verb, you have to drop the ru, the last ru suffix, and change it into te. For example, taberu becomes tabete. And if the verb has its u, tsu, oru, aru, uru verb, drop the last ru and change into te, the small tsu and the te. For example, the matsu becomes mate. Or for the last u, for example, cow, to buy. So we're gonna change the u, then put the small tsu and te. So that will be the katte form. Next video. So how do we say I read books on the train? Again, the common mistake, densha ni Sometimes speakers uses a lot, but it's not correct. It's gonna be densha de. So we use the particle de for this sentence. Why? Because we're doing something inside the train. The ni particles are mostly used by indicating directions. For example, ni iku, or uses with a verb that indicates where you are that time. The verbs that focuses location rather than action. So that's the use of ni. For example, to leave, to stay. So in this case, we're gonna use densha de. So the sentence will be densha de hon wo yomu. And if the verb has it ending with a ku, you just again drop the last ku and change it into ite. Ite. For example, to write, kaku. So the last ku, drop the last ku, change it into ite. So kaku becomes kaite. Kaite. And when if the verb has its gu ending, again same procedure, just drop the last gu and change it into ide. Ide. For example, to swim, oyogu becomes, so the last gu, change it into ide, becomes oyoide. Oyoide. And if the verb has it mu, bu, and nu, we have no time. Next video. Konnichiwa! Welcome to Dialogue School. Matagal ko nang hindi sinasabi yung Dialogue School. Welcome to my Dialogue School. Today we're going to talk about adjectives. Here in Japan, we have two kinds of adjectives. There are the e adjectives and the na adjective. You can easily familiarize the e adjective because literally, as it said, e. It was ended by e. All adjectives ended with e are e adjectives, but there's some na adjective ended with e. And the na adjective ended always with the na, but you cannot see the na. Na is always hiding. Example of na adjective is suki. So there is a na after the suki, so suki na, but na is always hiding. You cannot see the na. And for the example of e adjective, for example, kawaii. So these are the two parts of adjectives here in Japan. Konnichiwa! Welcome to Dialogue School. How to negate an adjective. That's our lesson for today. We will do two procedures in negating adjectives because of the e adjective and the na adjective. First, how to negate e adjective. Example of e adjective is kawaii. So focus on the last suffix. It's only the letter e. So we will just drop the letter e on the end of this adjective and add kunai. Kunai. I remind you that only the last e, you will going to just drop the last e. Don't never touch the second e. So the second e will remain the same. So kawaii kunai. Kawaii kunai. Kawaii kunai. Konbawa. Welcome to Dialogue School. Okay, now we are going to proceed our lesson in e adjective and na adjective and its negation. So I already explained the e adjective negated. So we will just add kunai and omit the last e. Okay, next in this video I will explain how to negate na adjective. The tricky behind na adjective is just we cannot see the na, but it's indicated behind its word. Though we cannot see the na, it's literally in the word. So let's start negating na adjective. First, for example, suki. So there's a na already na in there. So suki na. So we will just omit the na, the last na, and then add janai. So again, drop the na and put janai. It will become suki janai. Ichido ni. Ichido ni. Iso. Iso. Ika. Ika. Ittai. Ittai. お昼、お昼。お互い、お互い。およそ、およそ。お前、お前。おそらく、おそらく。おしゃべり、おしゃべり。うまい、うまい。うなる、うなる。うがい、うがい。いわゆる、いわゆる。いつまでも、いつまでも。Kimari, ohayo. O, yan. Ano tawag dito? Yung Zenzen na yan, nasa YouTube ko yan. Pati explanation, pati gamit, pati sample, lahat nandiyan dyan nasa YouTube ko. Sana pinanood mo muna. Pero sasagutin pa rin kita ng mabilisan kasi papasok na ako. Zenzen, ibig sabihin yan, walang problema. Okay lang, ayos lang, gano'n. Pag sinabing Zenzen Daijobu, okay na okay. Ginagawang strong yung salita. Kung okay lang siya, nilagyan natin siya ng Zenzen, naging strong yung okay. Kaya naging Zenzen Daijobu. Patitibayin lang natin yung words na dinidikit natin kay Zenzen. Pero kung negative naman yung ididikit natin kay Zenzen, halimbawa, Zenzen Dekinai. Di ba yung Dekinai cannot? So, pag sinabi natin Zenzen Dekinai, magiging, naku po, talaga pong hindi ko kaya. Nagiging strong yung salita pag dinuktong natin si Zenzen. Gambate, Kimari, kaya mo yan. Pasok na ako. Ikimono, ikimono. Onaka, onaka. I, ushi, ushi. Ine, ine. Arashi, arashi. Isu, isu. Ureshi, ureshi. Arawareru, arawareru. Okuru, okuru. Akiru, akiru. Eru, eru. Achi, kochi, achi, kochi. Annani, annani. Amari, amari. Ikenai, ikenai. Izure, izure. Itazura. Kanja, kanja. Kanji, kanji. Kanjiru, kanjiru. Kando, kando. Kanshin, kanshin. Kanjo, kanjo. Kankaku, kankaku. Kansha, kansha. Kempo, kempo. Gamang, gamang. Gishi, gishi. Kakaeru, kakaeru. Kakudai, kakudai. Kakaru, kakaru. Keiji, keiji. Kaizen, kaizen. 食べ物、ご飯、おにぎり、寿司、餅、トースト、うどん、そば、ラーメン、スパゲティ、カレーライス、オムライス、ちらし寿司、ハンバーガー、ホットドッグ、サンドイッチ、ピザ、餃子、たこ焼き、目玉焼き、刺身、焼き魚、ハンバーグ、コロッケ、エビフライ、サラダ、味噌汁、クリームシチュー、スープ、牛乳、ジュース、お茶、せんべい、団子、桜餅、キャンディー、チョコレート、プリン、ホットケーキ、パフェ、ケーキ、いっただ